on the occasion of Mother's Day, and I have with me mother of two very naughty sons. I'm assuming Shrima Rai. She's also a blogger, an ex-Mrs. India, and I think a lot more which Shrima would like to add.
I'm also an ex-banker. I was banking. I was a banker with Standard Chartered Bank for almost 7 years.
Shrima, post your first child, you participated in Mrs. India. So what was that urge or that desire, or somebody suggested you, or it was like, you know, because you already have got one Miss World in the house, so you felt like, oh, I think I need to participate in a pageant. So what was that?
Okay, so I participated in the pageant. I won the title 1 year before I had my first child. So I was at that time, I had moved to Mumbai, and I was around the East Coast. I was raised around Pennsylvania, and my parents, they made sure that I took Bharatanatyam classes, and from there my love for performing grew. But my parents were very conservative. So even, though, because they basically were immigrants from Mangalore, right? So they were very conservative. So they sort of said, okay, we know you love all the art stuff, but they always sort of taught me that have something to fall back on was what they believed. So it took me some time to get used to going for auditions on the side of my banking job. And in between, what happened is, I don't know how, I forget how I got like this Mrs. India application. I think it was maybe someone mentioned it to me or something. But I remember I went to my husband Aditya, and I was like, what do you think? Like, is it like worth it? And he was like, yeah, you should totally try it. You should, why not, right? He's very open-minded, and he knows me in and out. So he knew that like I had this passion in me, and he was like, go for it. And when I told my boss who was working with me in the bank, he was like, he was really confident. He was like, I know you're really good at your job over here, but even I can see that there's something in you that's probably like calling you. Like, I can see there's some potential in you to maybe go into a glamour line. I went for it, and my parents were thrilled, and I felt like I started pursuing my passion 110% really late in life.
Tell me one thing then, post both of your sons, so what was that one thing that you thought, oh my God, I am definitely not going to go on a guilt trip, and I will pursue what I want to pursue?
Yeah, so the title I won was first runner-up for Mrs. India, which is Mrs. India Globe. And I went to Slovakia and placed in the top 10. So when I came back after all of these things, I really realized that, at some point, I definitely was happier pursuing pursuing modeling, pursuing acting, pursuing all of these things, maybe even at some point pursuing singing rather than pursuing banking as much. And I knew that it made me happier. And I think the more mature me, the older I got, after, becoming a mom, etc., I realized that, I can't be the best mom I can possibly be if I'm like suppressing the things I want to do, because it's going to lead into resentment. I'm always going to resent my life that, okay, now I'm like, doing this job, and I come home and I wasn't feeling like I was giving my child 100%, because I would be, working long hours, coming home exhausted, and it was just not a really good fit for me, the corporate life, I think. And so all of those factors made it easier for me to walk away from that, and with that intention of trying to pursue something that made me happier, I went into this.
So let me ask you, give me a perfect example that you are an imperfect but a very happy mother.
Oh, a perfect example of an imperfect happy mother. Oh, I can give you so many, because I mess up a lot. Just like I just can't get them to a class on time at times, and it's because I had this jam-packed schedule where, with one driver, I'm running around for an event, and then I'm running around, I come home and I change, I'm taking the baby, shuffling the baby. So, there's always that stuck in traffic situation, and these are the points where I feel really, really bad at times, like, oh man, I should have like left the event a little earlier, or something like that.
One thing that your mother had, but you don't have.
I think it's the other way around actually, because my mom was a full-time working mom, guys, and she moved to America, and she was when you move to America like that with two small kids, you don't have a mother-in-law, you don't have your relatives around, you don't have a maid, you don't have a cook, nobody, and you're working full time. She was in microbiology, and my parents used to take shifts, and now that I'm older, I realize that I have it easier, because honestly, I shifted from India to America and ended up settling here. And I feel like, people here, you have like, most middle class are able to afford like a part-timer cook, or like a lady to come and, help with the
Exactly.
dish.
What,
Yeah.
what can you recall any favorite or any pet dialogue of yours that you generally say? Like,
My favorite thing is, you can, yeah, do what you want, but there's going to be a consequence. There's going to be a price to pay. I say, and they know what the consequence is. Like my 9-year-old knows that, okay, tomorrow mama's going to take away screen time. There's going to be some consequence for this behavior. Like, so I just keep telling them the word consequence is very big in my house. Yes, I absolutely agree with you. I think that it's so important for kids also to see us set an example of how to pursue your dreams, how to pursue your passion. And speaking about it to them is just not enough. When they see a hardworking, dedicated, passionate parent pursuing what they love to do in life, and that's just a wonderful example for children right in front of them in a household.
absolutely. And you know what? Most of the mothers that I have been interviewing said the same thing, that I am setting an example for my child that what a hardworking, go-getter, passionate mother looks like.